The Knicks have done it. 50 wins. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks are the number 2 team in the Eastern Conference. 50 wins. They are, this team is ready for any team in the postseason. That's right. Book it. We are going to celebrate. Tremendous ending to, it was a brutal ending. Had to go to overtime. Shout out to the Bulls for, not just rolling over. What a fantastic season. It's been a crazy season. It's been an exhausting season. To think about all the injuries this team had to go through. There was a time there where there was a concern the team could even make it for the playoffs. They were going to have to battle in the play-in, but no. And mostly, got to shout out, the Nova Knicks down here, plus the rest of the team, of course, but Jalen Brunson has changed everything for this franchise. There is no ceiling for what the New York Knicks can accomplish this season. I know it might be shocking to hear that, considering they're going to be up against some good teams. Not taking any team for granted, but that's how good this team, despite how sloppy they were with the ball today. What did they end up with, like 21, 22 turnovers? That's the only reason this game went this long. All right, we're live here. We're live here on the Knicks-Verse. Welcome to everybody who's around. I'm glad I could come out and go live and share this fun with you guys. We got Alex Nader in the house. What's up, brother? We got Big Task. What's up, man? Can you guys believe we're second seed? Unbelievable for me. I can believe it, but I can't believe it at the same time. Let's get to it. Here we go. 120-119 in overtime. And Bojan Bogdanovic, he came through for some important buckets. A big 3 he hit late there in the fourth quarter. The Knicks had to come back from behind. They coughed up the lead, and then they were struggling to take it back and then to maintain it. But, again, shout out to DeMar Rosen, Kobe White, Alex Caruso's defense at the end. We're talking about an all defense. He was first team all defense last season. He stepped it up even higher against Brunson in those final minutes and in overtime to make things very uncomfortable. But in the end, it didn't. In the end, the Knicks were able to prevail and overcome on a day when the Bucks didn't look like they were interested in winning their game. Same with the Cavs, and they lost. Orlando Magic beat the Bucks. Charlotte Hornets beat the Cavs. So the New York Knicks are now the official second seed in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference in the NBA. Look at that, man. A 610 winning percentage, 50-32. Beautiful. Milwaukee finishes third, 49-33. Cleveland 48-34. And Orlando finishes fifth with a 47-35 record, just ahead of the Pacers, who finished sixth. A lot of people may have wanted the Pacers for us in the first round. But I'll tell you, I'll get into my feelings about that pretty soon. I have some highlights. Hopefully, YouTube, Google doesn't flag it. Usually when I go live and I show highlights, I get flagged and stuff. It gets problems, so I may have to take a moment there to dispute it while we're live here. But everyone, come on in. Welcome. Who do we have in the house here? We got Fabian Williams. We got Juan Ayala. What's up, brother? We got, shouted out Alex in Big Task before. Tony Melendez. What's up, brother? And we got OBJYN. What's up? Let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's crank up the music a little bit here to celebrate, man. This is... And you know what? I got to say, I've been going through some crazy stuff personally in my family. Some intense loss. But it's moments like these that just remind you that you really have to, embrace when things are good, when things are great in your life. So at this moment, you guys should celebrate this no matter what's happening. If you're a fan, this is the moment that you wait for. And hopefully we have a lot more to celebrate as the weeks roll on and hopefully into June. Let's hope. Let's hope for the best. All right, guys, we also got Mark Pan in the house. What's up, brother? Joel Torres, Daniel Galura. All right, we got John Smith. What's up? Knicks got 50 burger. Knicks are a second seed. That's right. I can't show comments down below because I'm streaming from a different app. And we got Lex, the Destroyer, in the house, the best mod around. Welcome, brother. Thank you for joining me here. All right, if this is your first time here or you've subscribed before but haven't turned on the notification bell, please turn on the notification bell and subscribe. Share the video. Drop your comments, especially if you're watching this later on in the restream or whatever, or in whatever they call it. Drop your comments. I love all the comments. They help me a lot. It's going to be an interesting week. On Wednesday, the Sixers battle. Wait, let's keep going here. Well, one thing here. 50 wins because of this guy, who better get into the top 3 of MVP voting. This is what I want to see. Joker, number 1. He's a clear number 1. I would say Brunson should be number 2, and it's between SGA and Luka to be number 4, or number 3 or number 4. That's how I see it. But this guy definitely deserves to be no lower than 3 in the MVP voting. If you have a vote, I hope that you have been watching and seeing the impact that this man has had on this franchise, on his players, everybody, on the city itself, on the fans. We now believe in our team that they can win any game, any night on that court, and he proves it every single night. And even tonight, when Alex Caruso stepped up his game to try and stop him, he still put up a 40 piece on Alex Caruso, who is a great defender, man. I wouldn't mind Alex Caruso on this team as well. We got Stanley Mann in the house. We got William Thompson. What's up, brother? Oh, man, this has been a fantastic season. It's been a really crazy season, I got to say. We're going to recap all of that as we go forward. Look at this, 40, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists for Mr. Jalen Brunson, the GOAT. Fred Katz tweeted this out here during the game at one point here. Tremendous one-on-one defense from Anunoby, not just sticking with DeRozan, but also timing his turnaround perfectly to get a hand in his face without fouling. That's DeRozan's bread and butter. Beautiful. I wanted to highlight that tweet. I was actually going to tweet something similarly, not as beautifully worded as Fred does, but I wanted to highlight it. So here he put it beautifully. So there it is for us. His defense, outstanding. That's the second reason why this team can go all the way, can get to the finals, at least definitely get to a Game 7 against the Boston Celtics, but it's not going to be easy. There's definitely a difficult path ahead. Let's look at it here. Right now, the Knicks, we look at that. We got the 2 seed down there in the bracket waiting for the winner of the 7-8 game between the Sixers and Heat. It's going to be, I think the Sixers are the hosts of that game. Embiid is back. The Sixers have been on a roll. I think they've won 7 games in a row or something like that. But some of the games were against, compromised rosters. Like when they played the Thunder, SGA didn't play. So I'm not sure how, great they're playing. But even still, they're probably the most difficult first-round matchup that we would face outside of the Bucks and the Celtics, obviously. I'm not as concerned of the Heat as most people are. I'm not. I know everyone's, the Heat, playoff Heat, but playoff Jimmy, all this stuff. I'm just not. Honestly, they may not beat the Sixers in this one-game playoff. And then they may have to battle either the Bulls, who we just saw, who don't look like they're ready to go home anytime soon, or the Hawks, between that game. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm going to assume it is the Sixers that get into that 7th seed. So that's going to be probably the best first-round matchup in the playoffs, honestly. It might be, if you look at it that way. All right, let's see. Who else we got here? We got Stan. Oh, you got Monarch Smart TV. What's up, brother? Cheers to you, man. What a great. I mean, 50 wins. We finally got there, and it feels like, we could have gotten a lot more if we had stayed healthy, and if I hate to put it this way, but if the trade for OG had come sooner, it came, on January 30th. What's the trade? I mean, no, December 31st. December 30th or 31st is when that trade happened. If it had happened, in November 30th or something, this could be a very, very, we wouldn't have had a sweat like we'd had right now. But that's the quality, that's the level that this team is playing at right now. And the Bucks look confused. The Heat look like they've been playing with their food too much. The Sixers do look serious, and they have Embiid back. But Embiid, I think he tweaked his knee again the other day in the previous game. I don't know, did he even play today? You guys let me know if Embiid played today. But Embiid in the first round, and actually shout out to JD, he's the one who pointed this out. If we have to face the Sixers at some point, it's better to face them earlier than later. Because he's still, they still haven't kind of worked out all the kinks. They might be a little more vulnerable right now. Later on, if they start really cooking in that first round, let's say they had played somebody else. Let's say they finished sixth and they were playing the Bucks and they took care of the Bucks and we had to play them in the second round. I think they would feel a lot more emboldened to face us than facing us in the first round. That's just an interesting concept there. I see the logic in it. But here's the thing. At this point, you have to beat the team that's in front of you. It doesn't matter. I get the idea, and I'm the one who's been saying it. We had to avoid the Celtics in the first couple of rounds because I want to get some momentum. I also want Mitch to start feeling a little better. And there's some concern. He did not play at all after the first half. Actually, let's go back to this because I think I have Fred Katz. Well, before we get that here, so here it is. SNY Knicks tweeted this out. The number 2 seed New York Knicks await the winner of the Miami-Philadelphia playing game. Going to be very exciting, that one. Can't wait to watch that game. Here, Fred Katz tweeted this out. Tom Thibodeau said Mitchell Robinson was unavailable in the second half of the game tonight. Said he was just told by the medical team Robinson was unavailable. We don't know if you guys have seen any other details about this or any of my friends or whatever can just text me about it. Definitely am concerned about that. Because in my opinion, for the New York Knicks to accomplish the goals that they can accomplish, to maximize their position, they're going to need that man against Joel Embiid, along with Isaiah Hartenstein. Because Isaiah, Joel's thing is just picking up fouls. So who's he going to pick up fouls from? These guys. Got to shout out Precious, even though I've been hard on him of late. He stepped up in that overtime. Actually, he delivered the most points in the overtime for the Knicks. That's right, the most points for the Knicks in the overtime. Let's see here. Where's my stats? Where did my stats go? Where's my stats? I had it here. Oh, man. How are you guys feeling? Let's see. I see the love. I see the 50. I see 50 burgers. I see thumbs ups. I see some fire. Let's see some fire in that chat right now. Hashtag 50 wins. Let's see here. What happened to this? Is it right here? Well, I'm just going to bypass this. Jump ahead. Here we go. Oh, nope. Here it is. Just want to confirm because I had a feeling that Precious did. Yeah, Precious was, with just 4 points, Precious was the leading scorer for the New York Knicks in the 5-minute overtime. It was a tight one, man. I mean, the Knicks, DeRozan had a chance to win it. Right there. Hope Lex Destroyer says, hope they just trying to rest Mitch. I'm not sure about that, because this was a game that we needed him. You could see, because for a little while there, even though Precious was effective in that overtime, in the second half, he definitely did struggle. He was a -6, committed a couple personal fouls. In his 6.5 minutes, only picked up 1 rebound. So that was a bit of a concern. Brunson was unbelievable in the second half, came through with 26 points and shot 7 of 8 from the free throw line in that second half. Let's see here. Keep going. We got A lot of stats to go through, but let's keep going through here. Here's the stats here. All right, let's get to the highlights. Hopefully I won't get flagged because you guys deserve to see these highlights here. So the game got off to, it was a pretty even start. Knicks were up 13-11. Here, Josh Hart picks up 2 points right there. For the end of the first quarter, we were only up by 1, 29-28, which I tell you, oh, let me turn this down. The music is a little too loud. Sorry, guys. I think we were all hyped, so it didn't matter. We got KD in the house. What's up, brother? He says, my concern with the Dirty Heat is that they will injure Knicks key players, so even if we make it past them, we're screwed. Hey, it is a concern. That is a concern, I got to say. I kind of didn't want to believe that the Heat were like dirty like that, but the evidence is just too clear at this point. We're just going to have to just take care of them. Maybe a sweep would be nice. Can you imagine we just sweep the Heat? Don't even give them a chance to put a hurt on us. Fire up that grill 50 burger. Oh, yeah. That's so here now the Knicks were in the second half here. Sorry, I'm like all over the place because I'm just very excited about this win. And I could use some joy right now. Can definitely use some joy right now. Oh, man. Look at this ball. Look at this ball. Yeah. New York. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Woo. I am so hyped. We got over 180 in the house. Yes. Beautiful. Pull up a chair. Grab a beer. We are going to have a fun time. All right. So let's throw up a poll here. Who? All right. Who do you want in the first round? Sixers or Heat? And if you, that's the poll. And then if you guys could just chime in and give your rationales why you would like one team over the other, or maybe you don't care. If you don't care, then that's cool too. Oh, so Stanley Mann says he heard on KFS from Katz it was precautionary to hold Mitch out. I don't know why I'm not trusting that. I'm not trusting because this was a tight game. Vooch was cooking. That's one of the reasons it was this tight is because we let Vooch get off to a hot start. Let's see, he had 7 points right off the bat, 3 of 3 in the first quarter. DeMar was really lethal in that first quarter, 4 or 5, he hit 2 of his 3-point shots. He's not known for being a 3-point threat. And by the end of the first half, Vooch had 18 points, 7 of 9, also hit 2 3-pointers. And so he was a problem. He was a problem for us. He also had 7 rebounds. The Knicks were out-rebounded in the first half, 24-23. Though we did have 13 assists to their 10. But even though the Knicks only had 7 turnovers in that first half, it was a big problem for us. And then by the end of the game, let's see. By the end of the game, what did we finish? We finished... they finished with 12 turnovers. We finished with 21. We were so sloppy. And I think a bunch of those were even in overtime. We had 5 turnovers in the 5 minutes of overtime. That was brutal. That's what kept these guys around. Oh, man. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful result. Got up early to watch this incredible game, to watch our incredible team. Let's see here. Just want to make sure we're all okay here. We are so far. Beautiful. So here we're getting down to the fourth quarter. I don't know if I got all the stats, all the highlights all the way down, but you can see we were down with 1 minute left. We were down 2 points, but give the ball to Brunson, and look what he does. Let the man cook. Let the man cook. He's looking up. And again, they came down. Now we're in overtime. We were down. I think we were down by 4 points at one time in overtime. And that was a monster bucket from Dante DiVincenzo, who struggled for most of the game. He was at one point, he was only 3 of 11 from the 3-point line. But then he was able to, I think, hit 2 of 3 for the final stretch there. And we needed, and same with Bojan. Bojan hit a huge bucket as well. Here we are in the overtime. Now we have the lead. Oh, it's gone back to the beginning. All right, let's get back to this. Beautiful, beautiful. How are we doing on the votes? Let's see here. Let's see how we're doing. In the poll right now. Oh, interesting. It's by a vast majority, the Heat is the team that we'd rather face. Let's see. Looking here. Lex says we have to beat whatever team is in front of us, so it doesn't matter. I'm just worried about the dirty Miami cheat. Yeah. It seems like that's a running theme here. We are concerned about him because, dude, they took out Julius Randle, and I love Jaime Jaquez, but that was an unnecessary undercut. It was also just a freakish fall. It was like one of those things. That play happens a dozen times, 11 times he gets up with no problem. So it was just a freakish play. And at this point, let me tell you, if we had Randall right now and we were in the situation we're in, there would be no doubt about the Knicks' ability to get all the way to the finals. So the reason that I'm still confident that we can do it is because of the way the team has played defensively and how Brunson has approached the game in terms of when teams are trying to stop him, when they double team him, he's kicking the ball out quicker and he's making much better passes. His assists are up since Randall went down. I think they've gone up at least, like 2 assists per game, maybe 2.5 even. So that's a great sign. That means that he's not waiting and like killing the clock and trying to do too much. And the guys are cutting around him more so, and they're finding the open spaces out on the perimeter so that he can spray the ball out to them. Everything's working much more cohesively. And if we do face the Heat, I have a feeling that because Spo, and I talked about this in the pregame live that I did with Noah Cahill, the Knicks realist, who was fantastic on the show. Gonna definitely have him on again. It seemed like Spo was throwing like a roving triangle zone on Brunson. He had 3 guys kind of just shadowing Brunson, and then it would collapse if he was trying to cut through, or expand if he was trying to find an open guy around him to block his vision. And it moved around, and it definitely was effective for a time, but eventually Brunson was able to overcome it. And then I saw another team try to implement the same type of defense on him. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the teams after the Miami Heat game. The last Miami Heat game. It didn't work. So eventually, whatever you throw at Brunson, it may work for a period of time, but over the course of a series, it's just not going to work. And now we have Dante, a lethal, like the best high volume 3-point shooter in the NBA right now, along with Steph Curry. That's the level that he's up to right now. CJ McCollum has been great as of late as well, but for the entire season, it's Dante, and now Bojan is starting to wake up. And Josh Hart, when he hits a couple threes, we're unbeatable when he hits a couple threes. We need Precious to step in and take a 3 here and there. It just has to happen, especially if he's going to be getting serious minutes. Deuce, he had a couple games there where he struggled after that heavy minutes load, and then he missed the last game because of an illness. So who knows what's going on with him? But tonight, Deuce was very effective. Look at him. He was 3 of 4 overall in his 14 minutes, 1 of 2 from the 3-point line. He hit a big 3-pointer himself. He finished with 7 points. Bojan, 3 of 6 from the 3-point line. 13 points for him in his 17 minutes. Precious, 4 points. Those were all in overtime. Precious points were all in overtime. Dante DiVincenzo plays 53 minutes today. 53 minutes. And I saw someone posted something on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Apparently, his child was born either today or last night or something like that. So, double shout out to him. Congratulations, man. What a great day for you. But look at Brunson, man. 40 points, 14 of 30. He did struggle from the 3-point line. Only 1 of 4. I wish he had taken a few more, actually. But the Bulls were doing a great job of chasing him off that three-point line because they know that when he's hitting that three, everything opens up for him. So it makes it even more difficult to guard him once he starts penetrating. So they sag off him too much. So him hitting the three-point shot is instrumental. He struggled with it today. It was interesting to watch how Caruso and Billy Donovan approached trying to defend him. In a lot of ways, they were successful, or else this game wouldn't have been as tight as it was. We would have won this game, 130 to 111, in whatever it was in regulation. So their ability to stifle his ability to get off a clean look beyond the arc was successful for the Bulls today. But I do think he passed up on a few opportunities that he had. So that's going to be interesting. He can't quite do that as much as he did today. Josh Hart was 6 of 10 overall in his 40 minutes, but he did miss his 2 three-point shots, unlike the previous game where he buried them left and right. But look at this double-double for him. 12 points, 10 assists. 8 points for Isaiah Hartenstein, 13 rebounds for him. No, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Sorry, 10 rebounds for Josh Hart. 4 assists for him. OG Anunoby, interesting game for him. Defensively, outstanding, but he committed a lot of turnovers. What did he commit? He committed 6 turnovers today. It's a little too much. Got a little sloppy with the ball when he's, especially when he was trying to drive into the lane. I think at least 3 times he lost the ball. And then another time, I think he just did an errant pass. But either way, they got to clean all that up. But again, shout out to the Bulls defense. They put all their effort into stifling the Knicks. Here we go. DeRozan, 30 points for him. All of their starters were in double figures. 29 for Vooch. Vooch got off to a tremendous start, and that was one of the reasons why the Knicks couldn't really, create any spacing between them in the final score. 26 for Kobe White. 12 of 18. Look at that efficiency for those guys. Outstanding efficiency for those two. DeMar, 11 of 24 overall. That's not so great. Let's see, what did that end up with? He ended up, let me see here. Did you guys watch the whole game? Yeah, 45.8% overall. Well, I guess that's not terrible, but it's not great. Javonte Green, who torched us in that first game a week and a half ago, only 11 points for him, 1 of 6 from the three-point line. Caruso's 3 of 5 from the three-point line were troublesome. Javon Carter, that guy, 0 of 8 overall, 0 of 6 from the three-point line. Thank you, Javon, for missing those three-point shots for us. We needed that. All right, let's see. Let's check in on the chat here. Let's see. Ooh, now it's 50-50. 50-50 between the Sixers and the Heat. Who do you want in the first round? I like it. It shows that, we feel there's not a clear team that could really, that we should fear. And we shouldn't. We should not fear any team. We are the team that should be feared. Let's just remember that, because they do. Every other team in this Eastern playoffs fears the boys in orange and blue. Woo! I love saying that. I love saying that. All right, well, we got over 220 in the house. Thank you guys for joining me. We got Los. We got Angel, Roman. We got Murphy. What's up, man? Oh, it's your first live. Oh, good. Thanks for joining me, man. Marcel Montgomery. What's up, bro? Yes. All right, let's see here. Katie says, I wanted Caruso to the Knicks last season. Oh, yeah, me too. He was definitely somebody, he would have been a nice pickup. He really would have been a nice pickup. We got Bojan instead. Definitely totally different kind of player. But on this team, once, since we've lost IQ and RJ and Julius, we've lost our guys that can create shots for themselves. And guys that can just put up, 10, 15 points in a few minutes span. Those guys are gone. OG has definitely replaced some of that scoring. I like his general efficiency, though tonight we didn't see it as much offensively. But that's what Bojan can do. Bojan can just give you 20 in 15 minutes pretty easily. And so he's really important when it comes to the Knicks being able to put up enough buckets. We need buckets. And in the playoffs, when the defense gets even more intense, when refs start letting the play get even more physical, the scoring all goes down. So you need guys that are just pure shooters, guys that are, can make a difficult shot here and there. And Bojan has proven he can make tough shots. Brunson can make tough shots. Burks had shown us that he can make tough shots, though. He's totally drifted off. I don't even know what's happening with him. He barely even played today, right? Did he even play today? I almost feel like he wasn't even a factor. He did not play today. In the last game of the season, where the Knicks went to overtime, it is very telling that Alec Burks did not play at all. To me, that shows he's gone from the playoff rotation. All right, I'm going to end the poll right now, and it's the Sixers win it out 51% to 49, but that's basically a tie as far as I'm concerned. All right. Thank you for that, guys. The New York Knicks, Alex Nader says the New York Knicks are 20-3 in the OG Anunoby era. Yep. 20-3. And 20-3. That is crazy. That's got to be the greatest impact a player has ever had after a trade on a team, right? To go 20-3? Incredible. Here are the team comparisons that you can see. Look, the Bulls got an additional 7 points off turnovers. We committed 21. They committed 12. We were able to capitalize off of theirs pretty well. Comparison, but we ended up a -7 there. Fast break points, very close, just a +2 for us. Points in the paint, they actually beat us in that, 70-60. We got it on we got to the free throw line an additional 5 times, connected on 3 of them. But the 3-point shot was the big difference. We shot 12 of 32, 37.5%. They only shot 25.8%, 8 of 31 overall. And we shot 50.5% for the game. But they did get those extra shots. See, they had 101 shot attempts. They got an additional 10 shot attempts than we did. Wow. That's we can't have that in the playoffs. Cannot have that in the playoffs. Woo! Look at that. What a beautiful sight right there. Oh, man. All right, so let's go back to this here. So it's interesting that the Bucks are now going to have to face the Pacers in the finals. I don't think the Bucks have beaten the Pacers all season. I think I don't think they've beaten the Pacers. The Pacers have their number for some reason. So even if the Bucks are able to prevail, that is probably going to go at least 6 games, maybe 7. So whoever comes out of that series is going to be a bit beat up, a bit bruised. And probably a similar situation with us. We're facing the Sixers and the Heat. The Sixers are a better team than their final record shows because Embiid missed a lot of games. And the Heat are always dangerous in the playoffs, like we said before, but I don't fear them as much as everyone else does. But let's say we do get the Sixers. It's going to be 2 very I don't want to say tired, but very beat up teams facing each other in that second round of the playoffs. And who knows? I mean, at this point, it could be the Pacers. That would be a nice matchup for the Knicks. Pacers, Knicks in the second round. We take care of business there. It'll be the Boston Celtics standing in our way to get into the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, my God. But I will say Mitch Robinson is very, very important. And I'm not buying the comment that Stanley put up that Fred Katz said entirely. I think we need to hear more information on that. Kind of doesn't make sense. That he would sit out that entire second half, especially when we were having trouble inbounding the ball. The inbound play, the easiest inbound play is throw it to your tallest guy. And iHeart and Mitch have proven to be very effective at catching the ball on the inbound. So the fact that Mitch wasn't able to do that and that we were scrambling and like almost coughed the ball up, I think we did. I think we turned it over 2 or 3 times towards the end. That shows to me that there might be a little something more to why Mitch had to sit out. Hey, shout out to, we got a super chat. Shout out to the 77. What's up? Thank you so much. As long as we have Leon and Brunson, we have a chance. Yeah, man. Leon, here's to you, brother. Cheers to you for creating this team. Cheers to you. Now, shout out to Scott Perry as well, because, he laid the groundwork originally. He was instrumental in signing Julius Randle, in drafting RJ, and also drafting Mitch Robinson. And, by having RJ, the team was able to improve and stop the bleeding and become a winning franchise. Last year got into the second round of the playoffs, where RJ was one of our best players between game 2 of the Cavs and game 5 of the Heat. So he was very effective, and because of that and the drafting of IQ, we were able to trade those guys to get probably the best defender in the NBA, OG Anunoby. So it's all working together. Love what he has done. Love it. Stanley man. Oh, Pacers are 4-1 against the Bucks in regular season. Yeah, there you go, 4-1. That's crazy. Who we got? Here's Unconscious Zone. What's up, brother? Dave DeBuscher had a similar impact for many of the same reasons. Yeah. James Buckley says Mitch out precautionary. Okay, so we're getting a second follow up on that. All right. Entertainment says breaking news: this season has led to the least number of F-bombs from George since the 1973 Knicks championship season. That's true. That's true. Definitely. And if I have dropped an F-bomb, often it's in celebration. Actually, this jacket is from when the Knicks, that great 90s run of the Knicks, and they made it to the finals twice. I put it on for today's special show because this team has the same kind of opportunity. Has the same opportunity to pull that off. Stanley Mann says, will be interesting to see if Mitch plays in the fourth quarter against Heat. Will they apply hack a Mitch? I think they will. But, they can only do it up until the 2 minutes remaining. So at that point, if they do that, then we get the free throws and the ball back. So, and I do like that rule change. But he will be a problem if the game is tight. And let's say if we have like a 3 or 4 point lead with 4 or 5 minutes left, I could see the Spo resorting to that type of tactic. But that's the beauty of having iHeart, beauty of having them. So as long as they don't get into foul trouble, we're looking good. And I got to say, Precious, he looked kind of shaky for the most of the game and then started locking in. It's almost like he caught up to the pace of the game. And he was very effective in that OT. He ended up being a high scorer for OT by just being, diligent. Let's see. App says if Boston loses, we have home court. That is right. That is absolutely right. Oh, man, this is going to be fun. I can't wait for the play-in games. Exciting. The Cavs Magic series. I'm curious, who do you guys think wins that series between Cavs and Magic? You know what? To be honest, I kind of think the Cavs will pull that series out. I don't know if the Magic is ready yet. They are a very young team, very, very young team. And the Cavs, they have a lot to prove, though they're kind of a little bit in trouble, especially with the owner, Dan Gilbert, coming out and saying he feels very confident they'll be able to re-sign Donovan Mitchell. And then when Donovan was asked the same question, he was like, he said something to the effect of he didn't want to answer the question. He's focused on what happens right now or something like that. So he evaded the answer. Marcel says, no, George, Cavs can't win because Mitch Hart not into it. Donovan, yeah, but he's got pride. He's got too much pride. He's not going to want to just go home in the first round. There's levels to it. I know what you mean by that, but I think there's levels to that. Yeah, he's not gonna. It would be a really big black mark on his postseason legacy if he can't get this Cavs team, this 4th seed, past the 5th seed Orlando, who's never been in this kind of situation before as a team, as this current team. Yeah, that would hurt his reputation, I believe. I think he'd try everything he can. Doesn't mean the Cavs will win. I mean, the Magic could still, if the Magic could just shake off, the intensity of the playoffs and just jump in and win. It's not like they're going to be playing against the Knicks in the first round. A young team like the Cavs were last year coming to MSG. You guys heard all the interviews. Jared Allen, all those guys, they were overwhelmed. They were overwhelmed by the magnitude, the intensity of the playoffs, especially under the lens of the Madison Square Garden Arena. So it will be a little different for them, but it's still a very intense thing to go through in the playoffs. Your first trip in the playoffs is rough. Rarely do teams just slide all the way. That Suns team during the pandemic, that team was able to do it. How far did it get? I can't remember exactly. But I remember them being a surprise team. And then they got Chris Paul. Was that the team the year that they went to the finals? I can't remember now. It's all kind of hazy at this point. Just too excited about this team. Matt Hervey says, I don't fear the Heat. I fear playoff Jimmy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the beauty of OG now, because now with playoff Jimmy, we can throw OG at him. We can throw Precious at him. We can throw Josh Hart at him. And that's going to tire Jimmy out as he goes along. And that's going to weaken him on the other end defensively. So there's a lot of pluses. Right now, we're a very different team. We're a very different team with OG on the floor. Yeah, hit those thumbs up buttons for me. I'm like jamming all over. I like a half-eaten sandwich here. Got my cocktail. Celebrate. Yeah, hit that thumbs up button for me. Also, share the video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I will be doing a lot more lives, especially for the playoffs. And hopefully putting it out there, putting Keese of Sports Vibes TV and JD on the spot here. We're going to have, a couple years ago, we had the three of us got on a preview of the entire playoffs. We're going to try and recreate that. Should be a blast. We just got to find the right time to do it where it works for all our schedules. And then I'm going to get Noah back. Also, Lee is always on, welcome on the show. Got to get him back. And then eventually, what we got going here? No. Should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb. All right. John Smith said, Team Chemistry Cavs. No, Donovan is gone, and that will cause a problem. Orlando will win in 7. Well, that's a great point. Yeah, I could see. Okay, that's a different thing. Great point. I was looking at it just from the Donovan Mitchell point of view. He won't quit, but I could see. It's a great point. The rest of the team, it may have disrupted the chemistry. They may not feel like he's here for the long run, so it may dull them a bit. Even as I was saying it, it still doesn't feel right. These guys are professionals. And they have some dogs on that team. They got Strus on there. They got Niang now. Those guys are not quitters. Jared Allen, I really like him as a player. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a wild battle, a very wild battle. One thing is, at this point, so we have the Cavs Magic, and let's say it's the Heat versus the Celtics in that first round. I like that matchup for us because the Heat, Spoelstra, if there's a coach in the NBA who can poke holes and find weaknesses in the Boston Celtics and expose them, it is Eric Spoelstra. So the Heat, over that series, will give Thibodeau and the Knicks an insight to how to approach the Boston Celtics. And the beautiful thing about Spoelstra is he doesn't just stick with one plan. And if it doesn't work, he has multiple approaches. So if plan A didn't work, he shifts to plan B, shifts to plan C until he finds a combination that is giving him the results that he's looking for. That is very, very helpful for us. So in a lot of ways, it is better for us to face the Sixers from that standpoint, that kind of like that gamemanship type standpoint. Because if we're facing the Sixers, because I don't think the Sixers would expose the Celtics' weaknesses as much as the Heat would in the playoffs. Not that the Sixers can't win. Any team can beat any team. I'm telling you, we saw it last season. The Heat beat the Bucks, and that changed the entire playoffs. But in this case, you know what I'm talking about? Like in terms of exposing the underbelly of a team, the Spoelstra and the Heat have a better chance of doing that for us than the Sixers would. I hope that made sense. All right, let's go Knicks. Yes, if you're just joining me here right now, going to go back to this. The New York Knicks took care of business against the Chicago Bulls, and they are now the second seed in the Eastern Conference. They won 50 games this season. I predicted the Knicks would win 49, but there were 3 games I could not predict because of the play-in. They weren't scheduled at the time. So, and they ended up going 1-2 around that, because the other game that wasn't scheduled was the game after we lost the play-in in the semis. We had to play Boston that Friday. And that wasn't part of the plan, but so we had to play Boston in an additional game. So there you go. Those are 2 losses that were unforeseeable, and then the 1 win that got us to the semis. So there you go. 40. There it is. That's 50 wins. Beautiful. Milwaukee with 49 wins. I'll tell you, Milwaukee fans must be scratching their heads right now, wondering what happened to their franchise. I know it's weird to say that considering they are the 3rd seed, but this was a team that when they made that trade for Dame Lillard, they had expectations that they would be where Boston is right now, that they would be the team with 60-something wins, but they are nowhere near that. So in a lot of ways, this is a fall from grace. And if they can't take care of business in the first round, they could be gonzo. Yeah, they play the Pacers. They got their worst opponents in the playoffs. The Pacers are 4-1 against them this season. And the thing about the Pacers is they're going to run and gun and put up points. And the Bucks defense has been very, very poor. There's a chance the Pacers upset the Bucks, and we face the Pacers in the second round if we take care of business against the Sixers or Heat. Woo! That is beautiful. All right, I want to talk a little bit about who I think is going to be, other than Jalen Brunson in the playoffs, who I think is going to be instrumental for the Knicks having a deep playoff run. Now, obviously, OG Anunoby and his defense are critical, but his offense has to be there as well. Today, he struggled a bit offensively. What was his efficiency today? 4 of 10. He did hit 2 of 4 from the three-point line, but only took 4 3-pointers. We need a higher volume from someone like him. And only 1 of 3 from the free throw line. My God. He hits, another one of those. We're not even in overtime. But I think OG Anunoby is instrumental, and obviously Dante has to continue being Dante. Dante has to continue hitting his buckets at a high volume. He put up 14 3-point attempts today, only connected on 5. But like I said earlier, he was 3 of 11 for his first 11 shots. So for his final 3, connected on 2 of those, and those were key. He finished 35.7% today. But I have a very high confidence, especially since he's already had a taste of the playoffs. He was with the Bucks. He was with the Warriors. He knows what the playoff atmosphere is like. I don't think he's going to shrink in the limelight. I think he'll step up. He'll continue being the guy he is. Same thing for Josh Hart. So OG, this is going to be his first major playoffs in his career, I believe, right? I don't think he's had too many playoff. He wasn't there for the Toronto run to the championship because he was hurt. Let's see here, pulling up OG's playoff stats. But the key guy, I think, is Bojan Bogdanovic. I think he is instrumental for the Knicks to have a deep run. If he struggles offensively, and allows and continues to play the weak defense that we've seen from him, though it has stepped up a little bit in the last couple of games, I'll shout him out for that. If he keeps playing that kind of weak defense and he's not putting up the points that we need, it's going to be hard to keep him on the floor. So then if he's not on the floor because he's struggling to score, then who else is going to pick up that slack for us? It could be Deuce, but that's a lot to ask for a 6'1" guard, in the NBA. So other than Jalen Brunson. Let's see. OG, he played, in the 2017-18 playoffs, he played 10 games for them. I don't think he was a starter then. He averaged about 8 points per game. In the 2019-20 playoffs, he averaged 10.5 points. He shot 41.5% from three. Okay. And then in the most recent playoffs in 2021-22, he put up almost 7 3-point attempts per game in those 6 games, but only shot 34.1%. But overall, in the playoffs, he's a plus 40% 3-point shooter. That's good. We need that. We're going to need that to continue. But it's Bojan Bogdanovic who is instrumental for us to get far in the playoffs. I'm going to pull up his playoff stats as well. Curious what Bojan's been doing. Let's see. Los asks, what's the latest on Robinson? Would be concerned. I am very concerned. However, several people in the chat have pointed out that it was precautionary to keep him out. And Fred Katz tweeted this out. Tom Thibodeau said Mitchell Robinson was unavailable in the second half of the game tonight. Said he was just told by the medical team Robinson was unavailable. But then it was revealed that it was more for precautionary reasons. I hope that is true. I haven't gotten any tweets about that since. Let's see. Hold on, let me check. These guys are always really on it. No, I haven't seen anything about it. Nope. Nothing new. No new updates on Mitch. No updates on Mitch yet. Bojan Bogdanovic. Oh, man. 6'7", 34 years old. The man is finally starting to wake up for the Knicks. In the playoffs, he has had some up and down. Well, these are short sample sizes. But let's say in his longest playoff run of recent, which is the 2020-21 season when he was with Utah, playing alongside Donovan Mitchell, actually. He was a starter, played 35.5 minutes. He averaged 18.1 points per game in those 11 games. He shot 46.7% overall, but he shot on 7 3-point attempts per game. He shot 46.1% from the 3-point line. That's what I'm talking about. Bogey is key for this team because we know what Dante's going to do. We know what Hart's going to do. OG apparently has had success in the playoffs. We know what he's going to do defensively, and we know what Brunson's going to do. Brunson's even going to get better in the playoffs. Are you guys even ready for that? Brunson had a tremendous playoffs for Dallas and for us last year. Yeah, I'm pulling up Brunson's playoff stats right now. Man, I'm so hyped. All right, so for Dallas, in those 18 games, remember and he had to basically take over for Luka. He averaged 21.6 points per game. Then the next season, last season, when he was the first season with the Knicks, in the 11 games for the Knicks, he played 40.3 minutes per game. He averaged 27.8 points per game. Amazing. And last season, he averaged like 24 points per game in the regular season. So he improved by almost 4 points per game. If he's to do that this year, he'll be averaging 32 points per game in the playoffs. I think that's very, very possible for Jalen Brunson. Totally possible for Jalen Brunson. Look at him. He put a 40 tonight. Ooh, man. All right, we're getting close here. Been live for about an hour. It's been wonderful. I am so hyped. I'm so proud of this team. So proud of the fans. You guys have been amazing. Throughout the whole season, you guys have been pointing out stuff and highlighting things for me that have really helped improve the channel. And we're over 8,500 subscribers now, on our way to 10,000. I'm excited. There were some times where I had thoughts of shutting down the channel, and I'm glad I did not. And this is the reward to be here and to celebrate this tremendous win with you guys. Love it. Just wish my son was here. He's in Seattle right now. He went to Vancouver yesterday, checking it all out up there. But we are going to be celebrating when he returns. I think the first game for the Knicks will probably be a week from today. Because, I believe there'll be a week from today. So that's going to be fun. I will be doing a watch. Well, I hope to. Got to confirm it with the guys from the Greyhound. But hopefully, I'm wondering if we should do it for the first game right away. Because I don't want. I'm not a big I have a trouble watching playoff games of my teams out in public. I get a little crazy. You hear I curse and scream a lot and stuff. So very passionate, and it could disrupt someone's burger. While watching the game with me nearby. So maybe it will be game one because there'll be less pressure. Win or lose, there's still many more games to go. So that's probably the one I'm thinking about. So that would mean it would be next Saturday or Sunday would be the watch party at the Greyhound. But don't book that yet. This is just some thoughts at the moment. If we can't do it then maybe we'll do it one of the other following games. Maybe we'll go up 2-0 and we'll have a watch party for the third game. Yeah, let's do that. Stanley Mann says OKC is the first seed in the West. Unbelievable. Mark Dagenault, is that how you say it? For Coach of the Year. Yeah, he did a fantastic job. I'm not surprised. Chet Holmgren is a unique talent, and alongside SGA, who has flourished into an MVP candidate. He's the other guy, in my opinion. It's just down to those four. It's down to Embiid, Brunson, Shai Gilgeous, Alexander, and Luka Doncic. That's it. Those are the four. That's it. Celtics beat the Heat down in the regular season, but Bulls kept it close in their losses, according to John Smith. Interesting. Yes, hit the thumbs up button for me. We got over 110 likes. That's awesome. Let's keep them going. I am incredibly excited by our playoff chances. There was a time there where I thought, you know what? I'd be happy with a first round win, kind of repeat what we did last season and put up a nice show in the second round. If win or lose, I'll be fine. No, I don't feel like that at all, especially now when you look at the standings. The fact that this team was able to survive all the turmoil of this season and the trades, some huge trades, trading away R.J. Barrett, our number 3 draft pick, our highest draft pick since Patrick Ewing. It's a huge moment. It was difficult for me. I love RJ, and I shout out to him. I'm glad he's doing well in Toronto. And then losing IQ. And actually, IQ was actually the key player in that trade from Masai's point of view. They're gonna be good with Toronto. I expect Toronto. They're gonna get Scotty back. They'll probably make a couple trades here and there. I don't know if Gary Trent Jr. sticks around. I don't know if he's consistent enough and a good enough defender. But I think they could be a team kind of doing what with the Heat, I mean, not with the Heat. They could be an 8th seed next year. I could see them being an 8th seed next year, Toronto, for sure. So then you factor that trade in. You factor in that now that Quentin Grimes, he's gone for the season. So he had some injury, and I could tell he was just not right. That guy should have been better than he was. Dante became what we wanted Grimes to be offensively. Grimes' defense is still many levels above Dante's, though the one great thing about Dante is he's able to get those steals, the pokeaways, the deflections, and that's how he makes up for his inability to stay in front of some of the bigger, faster guards, like the way Quentin does. Quentin last season, guys got to remember, he guarded the other team's best player more often than any other player in the NBA. And he was instrumental in helping us get as far as we did last season. And him not repeating that this season was a big blow to us, but beautifully Dante just stepped right in and took over for that, and now he's become the best high-volume three-point shooter in the NBA, on par with Steph Curry. Now, he's not as great a shooter as Steph Curry, but I'm talking about his ability to hit that big bucket when we desperately need it, and a deep ball. He's got the deep ball as well. Shout out to We Survey 100 People. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it, brother. Really appreciate it, man. Cheers to a great season, George. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. You always bring the thorough analysis and perspective to the game. A true analyst. Thanks for everything, brother. Let's go Knicks. Oh, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, brother. Actually, you guys, same you and Lex and all the regulars. Right here, man. Really appreciate it. All right, we're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. I've been talking for an hour. Was hoping somebody else would pop up and want to join me here. Let's see. Nope. Everyone's busy. Everyone's out with their families or something. Oh, well, there'll be plenty of time. We're going to definitely put together a nice, big playoff preview show. It should be fantastic. We'll get the best, coolest minds on the show to discuss it. It'd be wonderful. Let's see. We got Loss is saying, I believe Mikal Bridges is Leon's main priority. He would definitely love that. Both of them would. But I don't think the Nets are going to cooperate. It's going to be tough. Though if the Nets were smart, the thing is, what would be part of that trade? I wouldn't know how to construct that trade in a way where the Nets would be willing to do it, other than we have to give up 5 first-rounders. Now, 2 of those could just be swaps, and the other 3 could be protect, or at least maybe, let's say it's 6 first-rounders. 2 are heavily protected, 2 are not, and 2 are swaps. Would 6 first-round picks be enough for Mikal Bridges? For the Nets to do business with the Knicks? I don't know. Seems like a steep price as well. And that's one of the other problems, is now that we don't have an RJ or an IQ, who would be the key player in that trade going the other way? These are the things to think about. These are the things. If the Nets are smart. That's right. Yes, we need a syndicate playoff live. Absolutely. The Knicks restored order in the East. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm loving this. The main reason I wanted the 2nd seed is because it would affirm what we have known for quite a while about this team. We knew this team was better than its record. We knew this team could beat anybody, any night, and they have. I believe the New York Knicks are the only team to have beaten every other team in the NBA this season. I think so, right? Does anyone else can confirm that? I believe the Knicks are the only team to have beat, or they may not be the only ones, but they have beaten every single other team. We have not gotten swept by anybody at all. Hey, shout out to Alex Nader. Oh, man, thanks so much, brother. one of the best supporters of the Knicks-Verse. Let us know if you're doing a watch party with enough time. It might be in LA in the coming weeks. Flying from Denver. Awesome. Yes. Well, we're going to try to, I'm thinking of doing one for game 1 of the playoffs once we know when game 1 is. If we can't pull that together, maybe by like game 3, let's say if we're tied 1-1 or we're up 2-0. If we're down 0-2, not going to do a watch party for game 3. But let's say the other scenario is we'll do one for game 3. If we get past the first round, we'll definitely be doing a watch party in the second round. So that'd be great if you could join us, man. And anyone else here who's in LA should definitely join for the watch party. It was a lot of fun. We had a great crowd. It wasn't like huge crowd, which was great because I could meet and talk to everybody there. Yeah, we had a good time. And the food was great. The drinks were awesome. The Greyhound's a great spot. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate that. Let's see here. We got team, NCEXNYC in the chat puts team wins 50, basically without Randall, and people are still head hunting. Shaking my head. Hey, you kind of have to stay like that. You can't. One of the reasons the Celtics were able to win 64 games is because they didn't, stand pat. They made the big trade. They took a big swing. They brought in Drew Holiday. They brought in Kristaps Porzingis. It's important that winning teams do not stay complacent. You have to keep looking for those areas to improve. You just have to do it. We have a lot of things. This offseason is going to be wild. I don't want to get into that right now because right now I want to enjoy what's happening here. But I will say it will be a very interesting offseason regardless of what happens. Either way, whatever happens, it's going to be a very interesting offseason. There's a lot of business that Leon has to take care of in the offseason. All right, I can feel it. I'm starting to lose my voice a bit here. It's one of the reasons I wanted to have someone join me on today, but no one could do it at the time with such quick notice. We got over 260 in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate this tremendously. It was great. I had to come on and celebrate with you guys. You guys are the best fans, man. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. The Knicks are lucky to have us as fans, and I'm lucky to have you guys as supporters. It's a wonderful symmetry. We got Nick of Time show in the house, brother. What's up, Jay Ellis? What's up, man? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? We were talking about 50 a long time ago, and here it is. It's happened. It's happened. Definitely going to do a collab with Jay Ellis and Lee and Ryan as well. Be happy to go on their show, and I definitely want to get them on the Knicks-Verse. It's gonna be a good, long, wonderful playoff run here for these Knicks. That's what I'm foreseeing. It's gonna feel like the 90s again, and the best part of the 90s. And also, we're not gonna have to deal with Michael Jordan. So there you go. In the East, at least, we're not gonna have to deal with that. We hopefully we have to deal with Nikola Jokic in the finals. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? Hi. I'm all giddy now. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. This has been an amazing season. I tried to do a post game for every single game. I think I missed a couple of them, some for some sad reasons, unfortunate reasons. And I did lose someone incredibly important to me yesterday. And amazing lady. She's the reason I am the person I am. Is a lot of it is because of her. And just want to recognize, all the amazing mothers, aunts in the world, or just people that show us kindness and support. And that's why it's important to embrace the great moments when we have them, like this moment right here. And I appreciate everybody for joining me here today. All right. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes open for announcements on the Knicks-Verse for when we're going to go live and do special shows and the watch parties.
It's going to be exciting. Cannot wait for next week when the Knicks are battling either the Heat or the Sixers. I don't care which one it is, but I kind of do have I have actually revealed a preference. I really kind of want the Sixers over the Heat because I'm confident we can beat either team, but I want Spoelstra to face the Celtics and expose, like I said earlier, their weaknesses for Tom Thibodeau, so Tom Thibodeau can see them. That's what I want. All right. You guys have been awesome. This is fantastic. Maybe it might even do a show for the play-ins, discuss the play-ins. That could be a lot of fun too. Thank you, 27. Appreciate that. Just appreciate that. Hey, we all have people in our lives and stuff. I know we all can relate. All right, brothers. 50 burger. Unbelievable. I had a feeling it was a possibility. I was like shouting out this team from a while ago, and they weren't living up to the potential for a stretch there. So happy that Thibs, honestly, I know Brunson is the key to why things turned around, but Thibs embracing a new style of play and figuring out how to thrive off of what Brunson does has been instrumental. And he's really evolved as a coach. And I said this previously, this may be his best coaching he's ever done his entire career, in my opinion. Okay, you guys go celebrate, continue the celebrations, and I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. The Knicks are the second seed, the second beast in the East, and they may end up being the number one beast in the East by the end of this playoffs. Let's go!